Hey guys, welcome back to UK Dive. It's your first time here. Well, this is a really weird video to get caught up on, but anyway, it's been a while, guys, and for that, I owe you an apology. So yes, guys, it's been a long time since I've done a video. I think the last video I did was actually with Ian with regards to the bend, which probably explains why I've had a lot of people reach out and think that the bend has caused me to stop doing the videos or stop diving or something like that. I'm here to say that's not the case. I've got to wind you back a little bit to explain what's going on. So get yourself a cup of tea. And if you're one of these people that moans on my videos that they're a bit long, leave now, because this is likely to be a long one while I explain what the chuffing hell's been going on. So yes, as you know, if you've been a subscriber, guys, back in August of 2023, I went to South Africa diving for a couple of weeks and I absolutely loved it. And it rekindled in me a fire that has been dormant for quite a long time, with me just primarily diving in the UK. I started diving because I wanted to explore. I wanted to see the other 70%. And unfortunately, for the last few years, 4 or 5 years really, a lot of the diving I've been doing has either been training dives, which isn't quite what I signed up for when I, when I started, or it's been repetitive stuff, okay? Now, I don't want to sound arrogant in any of this kind of thing, so please just take this for what it is, but I've kind of done the bucket list of UK diving, or certainly my bucket list of UK diving. There's nothing else really to do, and a lot of the diving that I've been doing the last few years has been repetitive stuff, going to places that I've already been, seeing things that I've already seen. You know, it's always good fun. It's always fun to get out, but the fire and the passion that I felt when I first started has, you know, inevitably dwindled. You know, your favourite meal is only your favourite meal. When you've had it for 300 days on a trot, it's probably not your favourite meal anymore. It's got a little bit like that with the UK diving. I made that decision, or I made the decision, I should say, to retire from UK diving in 2024 after we got back from South Africa back in the end of 2023. Now, I still did do some UK diving. A couple of reasons for that. I'd got some trips booked, so we got Kinloch Bervie after South Africa, which I went and did and enjoyed a lot with my friends. So that was good. Always good at Kinloch Bervie. So check Chris and Kathy out. If you've not been done it, you definitely need to do it. And the other thing is I'd already got some training ongoing that I wanted to finish delivering. Okay, so if I promise something, it will be delivered. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that that was done. As you know, if anybody watched the bend video, I actually got bent doing some training whilst at Capernwray. That's what it is. And funnily enough, you know, some people believe in ghosts and some people believe in afterlife. I'm a big believer in fate. I'm a believer in what goes around comes around, and I'm a believer that, you know, you shouldn't say things too loudly because fate sometimes listens and kicks you in the nuts. And I think that's exactly why I got bent, because I'd made the decision to not UK dive after that. And I think fate was listening a little bit too close, and it was like, well, I've not had you yet, so there we are. So I firmly believe that. Okay, if I'd not made the decision to retire from UK diving, I'd have probably been fine. So, but there you are. Anyway, what's been going on then post bend? Well, post bend, so basically as soon as I could start diving again, the wife had arranged a trip to Egypt for us because she wanted my first dives after the bend to be in warm water, not be in cold water. So we went on holiday and it was very nice. It was great. I took the Horizon. I found somewhere that would let me solo dive, and I know that sounds horrific. He's just at a bend, so he's going on the rebreather and he's solo diving. Is the guy insane? I've redone my website, so check that out, and on there's a blog where I explain my reasoning for doing it that way. Now, again, you might read that and you might disagree. That's absolutely your prerogative, but it's there if you want to, and I'm not going to go into that here, but just to say that's what happened. And I had a fabulous time. I went down with my camera, I did my own thing for a week, I spent many hours underwater, and absolutely loved it. Definitely absolutely not as the bend stopped me diving in any way, shape or form. After that, I finished doing some training, finished the course that I was delivering when I actually got bent, and I finished some sports diver courses for people that were in progress when I made that decision. So I think it was probably about March, April time, that I actually did sort of my last UK dive, which was, funnily enough, where my first UK dive started. at Capernwray. Got out of the water, signed everybody off, took my dry suit off, took my undersuit off, and then chucked the whole lot in the bin right there and then. And since then, I've sold all my UK dive gear, or the majority of it anyway. I've been on various holidays since where I've done diving. The most recent one and the last one with Pontefract Scuba Club, which is also probably something I should let you know, is I'm now no longer with Pontefract Scuba Club after 13 years. I organised a trip to Gozo and we did that, and then when we got back from that, I decided to call it a day with the club. For a couple of reasons. One is, if I'm not UKDiving, I don't really need a club. There's not really much, a club can offer me. The members sometimes organise, abroad trips, but not generally. Obviously a UK dive club is focused on UK diving as it should be. So there didn't seem much point. And there was also the, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of insinuated pressure that I should be doing more to be teaching. Again, for those that have followed me for a long time, know that I've been the only active open water instructor in the club for the last 4 or 5 years, and I just had enough. Okay, so I'd made the decision not to UK dive, which obviously meant that I wasn't able to do any open water diving, but the pressure was sort of still there to, you could help out here, and you could, and I just don't want to. I've done my time. In fact, one of the big reasons actually for deciding to quit UK diving was the fact that when I went through my dive computer, while I was bent, I was tidying kit and servicing and stuff like I normally do, and I counted the number of sea dives that I did over the last 2 years, and it turns out that if I'd have done a liverboard each dive, I'd actually got more dives in sea dives than I'd managed in the UK over the previous 2 years, because a liverboard's like 20 dives, isn't it? So that's 5 UK dive weekends, assuming you get all 4 dives in on the weekend. You're not blown out, the viz is not bloody crap and all the rest of it. So that really struck home. Is like, actually I spend 90% of my UK diving time is in bloody muddy puddles training people for free, and normally costing me money. So again, I didn't want to stay part of the club, and it's been a weight lifted off my shoulders, to be honest with you guys. I don't feel, I thought I'd miss it. I thought I'd be sat around bored at the weekend with nothing to do. It's not. It's been quite a cathartic thing, I think, if that's the right word. I'm free of that pressure now. I don't feel that pressure to do that anymore. I'm still a BSAC member. More than happy to come and help if your club or you personally need any help with anything. I've been going to Robin Hood Water Sports Pool on a Tuesday because they've got a late night opening for their pool, so I've been getting me bi-weekly dives in just like I normally would. So if you need any help or instruction or assistance with a BSAC course, or you need anything dry side, theory, or like a compressor operator or a mixed gas blender course, then give us a tinkle. More than happy to do that kind of thing. And in usual BSAC style, don't charge for my time, just for my expenses, which we'll agree beforehand. So, no problem with that at all. If you do want to do open water diving with me, then that's fine. You just got to come on one of the holidays that I'm going on. We'll do it somewhere warm in a rash vest and board shorts rather than a dry suit. So I have got some friends and people that I know who have said they would like to train with me and are coming on some trips to do that kind of thing. So again, if that's what you want, I'm an instructor that teaches you the skill. I'm not going to sign you off just for turning up, and I'm not going to sign you off unless you're good enough for that skill, okay? Which is what weirdly some people want. They actually want to be taught something, which is nice, and they're the kind of people that I like teaching. So so not part of the club, still part of BSAC. So that's what I've done this year. Nothing else lined up now until next year. And next year I've got 5. I'm going abroad 5 times, 5 holidays. So that's where I'm piling my money into now. I've got 4 of those are holidays where I get to dive on. I wouldn't say the dive holidays. Some are holidays with friends where I'm going diving. I've got Egypt coming up in a few weeks in January for a bit of winter sun. Just me and the wife. We're off to Sharm. I've never been to Sharm. We've always done Hurghada because Sharm was closed when I first started diving. They blew up the Russian plane. So off to Sharm for the first time, so we shall see that. I've done liverboards where we do Sharm, Jackson Reef and Gordon's Reef and all that kind of stuff, so I'm assuming it's the same kind of thing. It's just I'll be based in Sharm. Which is where I've got a nice sexy new bit of kit that someone sent me to review that I'm very excited to have a play with. If you want to know, have a quick peek of what it is beforehand, follow me on Instagram, UKDiver, just do a search, I'm on there and you'll see what it is. But very excited about that. I'm off to Lanzarote again, did Lanzarote a couple of years ago, absolutely fell in love with the place. The shoals of fish out there are absolutely amazing. I've just never seen such a big big shoals of fish. So I'm off there with Dean. You've seen Dean plenty of videos. So he's coming with me on that holiday. Then I'm off to Greece with some of my friends who I grew up scuba diving with, who sadly aren't diving anymore. So they're off, cruising the island and this, that, and that. I'm buggering off for diving, and then we'll meet up in the evening. So I've got a week's worth of diving in Greece, which again I'm excited about because I've never done Greece. The Ionian Sea, which will be another one ticked off. I'm guessing it's a lot like the Med, seems it's kind of in the Med. But yeah, but again, this is getting the juices flowing. You know what I mean? I'm excited to do it. And then the big one next year is I'm off to Pemba Island, which you've probably not heard of. If you haven't, it's where Zanzibar is. It's just up from there in Tanzania, in South Africa, in Africa, not South Africa. It's a bit further up, back to Africa again, and that really is exploratory diving because it's basically a not very touristy island. It's basically a jungle forest that you've got to crawl through. So these are dive sites that really not many people have been to, and some of them they're still exploring. So I'm really, really excited about that. Pristine beaches, pristine dive sites, and really not many tourists there at all. So it's a bit difficult to get to. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to that one. I've got to be honest, really looking forward to that one. So again, I'll bring you along on that one. I've got trips planned out till 2028, to be honest with you guys. So this is a pretty, I'll say I'm retired from UK diving. I think it certainly is for the next few years. 2026, I've got a photography workshop course over in Lemba. It's the first time I'm going to do Asia. So I'm off to Lemba, off to Indonesia, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. And there is a lot on the bucket list. I'm thinking, of going to Japan, Okinawa. I'm following some Instagram channels on there from divers there, and it looks absolutely stunning. I want to do Raja Ampat. I really want to do Raja Ampat. I really want to do New Zealand, which will probably require me getting a dry suit again, to be honest with you, because it's not that warm there. I want to do God's Pocket up in Canada. These are the things I really, really want to do, and this is what I'm going to be doing over the next few years. So I've had some friends say to me, well, can't you do both? And the simple answer is no, I can't really do both. So I've just said what I'm going to be doing. I haven't. Again, it's just the spark of UK diving's gone out. So did the training, chucked all my UK dive gear in the bin, the wetsuit, the dry suit, the undersuit, and I've sold all the rest of my gear for the simple reason is a lot of it was knackered. You know what I mean? I've been diving for a fair few years. The dry suit was absolutely knackered. I've had it for 8 or 9 years, and it's had some right abuse. And it's done absolutely admirably, but it was needing replacing, and I didn't want to spend a couple of grand on a new dry suit to do diving that I've already done before. Now I know people say you can get a cheaper one. I'm sorry, once you've had the best, okay, you're not going to accept some shite, okay? So if I buy a new dry suit, it will be an Otter, it will be an Atlantic, and it will have all the toys, okay? It's as simple as that. There is no other option. It's not only the cost of the kit, which is phenomenal at the minute. The price rise over the last few years in kit has been just unbelievable. Brexit, I don't care about your politics, but Brexit has not done us any favours. Everything from the EU is vastly expensive now, and it's just, it's really horrifying. It's not just the kit, it's the price of a weekend away now. You start looking at accommodation, the skippers have had to put their costs up because fuel's gone up so much. A dive weekend in the UK now is a £300 to £350 job if it's a goddamn penny now. You're talking some boats out of Dover, they want 70 quid a dive. Like, per dive, that's 140 quid a day. Like, literally, you can go abroad and do it cheaper, including getting abroad. So it's just, the costs are silly. And I ask myself, do I want to spend them costs if I'm not super buzzed about it, if it's not generating passion in me anymore? And the simple answer is no. Okay, so it all boils back to I don't want to do it. And then finally is like the heartbreak, because you pay all this money for your kit. You pay all this money for the boat and the accommodation, all this. And then you get there and it's blown out, or perhaps it's blown out before you get there, or worse, it's not blown out before you get there, but actually when you get out, it's as lumpy as hell, everyone's got seasick, and you get in and the viz is here, and you can't see anything. I've done it for well over a decade. I've done my time with battling that, and I don't want to do it anymore. I want to get better value for my money. I want to see new things. I want to meet new people. I want to go new places, and I want to get there. I want to be comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Perhaps I'm just getting old. Perhaps I'm just bailing out. Perhaps you know what? I don't know, and I don't care. It's just the way it is. The passion's gone, and because of that, I don't want to invest the time and the effort to do it when there's a lot of time, effort, and money required to do it. If that makes sense, I've kind of done it for 10 years. I don't know if that makes sense, guys, but that's the way it is. So what's it mean for us? What are we going to do? Am I leaving you forever? No, I'm not leaving you forever. Don't be silly. I've had a bit of a break, and the reason I've had a bit of a break from YouTube is because I started feeling the pressure of YouTube, which is ironic because nobody watches these videos, okay? I'm doing this now knowing that this will be lucky to get 350 views, okay? And it's not that I don't value, I never thought I'd be like a, digital creator, a digital nomad, and this was how I was going to earn me money forever. There's just not that big a population at scuba dive to allow that to be viable, so that was never an option. But I did start feeling the pressure, I need to release another video. I need to release another video. I need to release another video. And I don't want to do that anymore because you know what? I pay a lot of money to run this YouTube channel. This camera that I'm recording on now is my Action 4 that I bought, sort of last Christmas time. Cost me 400 odd bloody quid and it's barely been out of the box. This microphone that I'm talking to you on, that was 200 and odd bloody quid. And you know what I've made out of YouTube since I started it, and certainly since I got monetized? It makes me like 60 quid every 3 months, if I'm lucky. It's 20 quid a month. It'll take me years to get the money back just to buy and that's not the lights, that's not the editing software, that's not, I did the YouTube because I love doing the YouTube, but it started feeling like a job. I started really feeling pressure, and again, you guys, it's not blaming you. You're like, when's your video? You can do a video on this. Yeah. And I started feeling that pressure, and I was just like, this is not a job. I've got a job, a very, very full-time job. I don't want another job. With the training at the club, it felt like a bloody job. Forever commit. So just like balls to the lot of it. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to be like that, and I didn't mean it to be this long. I've sat and recorded this video 4 times tonight to make sure I'm trying to say what I'm saying, getting it across. This is not the only night that I've tried to do this. I was walking around Whitby 8 weeks ago recording this video trying to say what I wanted to say. But I am back. I do want to do the videos again. I've got the passion back for it. I'm starting getting people send me stuff for review again, which I want to share with you. So I've started accepting some more of those again, rather than just knocking everybody back. And then there's some things that people have asked me about that I genuinely want to share. The biggest one seems to be at the minute, I've had a few people say, how are you getting on with the Horizon? You've had it, 12, 18 months now. I've got some videos coming up, like I say, a review of that thing in January. I've got a friend coming over tomorrow. We're setting up a wing and back plate, and there's a little tiny bit of kit as part of that setup that I found really useful when I set mine up, and I used a lot, and I think you might not know about it. So I'm going to show it you, and then you can make a decision if you're setting up a new wing back plate, or you're going to wing and back plate for the first time, which you should, because they're so much better than BCDs, then you might want to have a look at. So I've got that doing tomorrow. The reviews from that, people who want to know about the Horizon, I'm going to do a video on how I've found that to live with for the last 18 months, what I'm using it for, where I'm using it is also interesting, what I think about it, and I've got some very mixed feelings about that, so that'll be interesting. Needless to say, I won't win myself any friends with that one, but there we are. If you want it, I will do it for you in my own juffing time, okay? So that's what it is. So that's where we are, guys. I'm gonna do the videos when I go abroad, but mainly not just of me having a great time, because those videos never do very well. But it will be, this is the dive centre I've used, these are facilities, something. If you're planning a trip there, the kind of information I would want if I was planning a trip there. Okay, so we'll have a look at a few of the critters, but I'm not going to do hours and hours of cool stuff underwater. What I will do though, but this is purely for my benefit, is I am going to start uploading the videos like I did for South Africa, which is like the extended one with all the footage. And the reason I'm doing that is, for me, guys, I've got an issue with my long-term memory. If you want to understand it a bit more, just Google aphantasia. Loads of stuff on there, but I'm an aphant, which just means that my long-term memory is rubbish, and although I know I did something, I can't actually relive it. So I'm actually my own biggest fan on YouTube, because I watch my videos more than everybody else, because it's a reminder to me of what I did. And sometimes I watch that and go, I just can't believe that I did that. So anyway, so you might see some of those, 40, 50 minutes even, whatever. It's going to be what it is. But if you want to watch them along with me, that's fine. But understand, they're for me. They're not for you. YouTube is just a nice repository where I can put something and I've not got to pay for storage, basically, as tight as that may seem. But that's what it is, okay? So you either like that or you don't. Like I say, I don't care. So it's UKDiver on tour for a little bit. I'm not having a new logo done or anything like that. Again, I've spent far too much money doing this crap already that I don't get back. So it is what it is, guys. Leave your comments down below if you've got anything. Drop me an email if you want any assistance with any training, you're interested in any of the trips that I'm doing. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. All that kind of jazz, still available there. The Patreon's gone, okay? I'm not doing anything where I'm taking money off anybody anymore. I just don't think there's enough to talk about, there's enough to give, and giving anybody any value for anything. So just follow me on the free stuff, reach out, chat. If I'm at the dive show, I'll let you know at the dive show. We can have a meet up, at the dive show, in the little cafe bit, that's fine. But yeah, we're just going to take it nice and relaxed, nice and steady from now on, and we're just going to have fun and do the diving that we want to do, which is what everybody should be doing, isn't it? Everybody should be doing that. But anyway, that's it, guys. It's the last take of this. I'm going to put it out, edit it. It is what it is. And I will see you when we start having a look at this backplate stuff. And then I'll see you when we in Egypt in January. But anyway, other than that, guys, hope you're keeping well. Dive safe. And I look forward to seeing you out there at some point. All right. As always, I'm Andy, and I will see you on the next one.